As the ritual approaches, the energy is building psychically in the background and within yourself. The morning of the ritual, you will feel some kind of anticipation. You will begin to plan the evening ahead. So within that, the energy again is building. You'll start to gather the things that you need. You'll pull together all the different ingredients that you will need for that particular ritual, and the energy begins to build more and more and more. The time of the ritual, you'll have your bath, and when you're in your bath, you'll be letting go of all the stresses and the strains of the day and of the past few days, and starting to concentrate on the task ahead. All of this is putting you into the right frame of mind. And surreptitiously, bit by bit, the energy, even if you don't notice it, is actually starting to build within you. What you have to acknowledge is that not only are you drawing on your own energy, but you're drawing on the energy of the place around you, of the earth, of the mother. This has to be kept in your mind at all times. It's really important because this is the essence of where the energy is being drawn from ultimately. So when you're in circle, you'll start to notice physical changes within yourself. Your heart might beat a little bit faster, your solar plexus might be giving you the butterfly feelings in your stomach, your hands might get clammy. All of these you might put down to nervousness, but actually it's your own internal energy building. If you didn't feel that way, I'd be a bit worried because it kind of means that you're not tuning into yourself, let alone the landscape around you. When I start to work, it's really important to keep your focus. Whatever it is you're doing, whether it's casting a spell or working a full moon ritual or anything in circle, the idea is to calm yourself. That sounds odd when I'm talking about feeling the nervous energy rising, but if you take a few deep breaths before you start any work, you'll begin to feel more centred and much more focused. I find that naturally I want to rock. And as I rock, I connect in with my own heartbeat, but also I start to concentrate on the universal heartbeat, the heartbeat of Mother Earth. This is what we're trying to focus on, what we're trying to call up. This is the energy then that we're raising from the earth beneath us, pulling it through our own solar plexus, through our chakra centre. Solar plexus, very, very important, where you hold all your energy centre, up through your heart. Any magic that you're performing has to come from the heart. You have to speak with integrity. You have to know that what you're doing is for the good. So rocking, just slowly to and fro, you start to pick up your own energy, your own beat, and it's really important. So I'd like you all to try rocking, and it's literally rocking from the hip, just forwards and backwards. And if you close your eyes and you do it, it doesn't matter whether you're doing it in time with the person next to you. What's important is that you find your own rhythm. Some people will rock more slowly, some will prefer to be a bit faster, but it's finding your rhythm. Close your eyes and it doesn't matter what anybody else is doing. But you should be able to start feeling the energy rise very, very slowly, up through your back, into your solar plexus. And this is the kind of space that you're looking for when you're building the energy within yourself. So along with the rocking, the other thing that you can do to raise energy is clapping. It's a very simple way, but very effective way of raising energy. If you're going to have a spell and you want to charge and power your spell, you clap around the items that you're trying to charge. If you're trying to raise energy for a healing, you can either have a healing book or the person's name or the person themselves sat in the centre of the circle. And I'll show you how to do that. You start off very, very slowly and very, very quietly. So the idea is that you start off at a nice, sedate, quiet pace. I'll start, the rest of you can join in when you're ready. And as you feel the energy building within you, you don't even have to pace it. It will automatically take over. And the clapping will gradually get louder and louder and faster. What I then try to do is to bring my hands up so that when the clapping is really quick, it's above my head. So the idea is you're raising a cone of power within the circle. You're drawing the energy up from each of the people in the circle, from within yourselves, from the ground beneath you, through the rocking and the clapping, and you draw up between you all a cone of power, which you can then pinpoint and send out, or ground and send into the spell. Okay, so we're just going to demonstrate that now. I'll start and then Jaden can join in and then the rest of you can come in as you feel comfortable. And when you're working magically, you can feel that in your hands. Even though we're not in a circle now, even though we've not got any magical work, you can feel that in your body. You should feel warmer, your faces should be glowing, your hands should be glowing and tingling. All of that is part of bringing up your own energy, as well as the energy of the land around us. If we were to send that energy out into the world for a distant healing, rather than bringing the energy down, we would have thrown it out. And what you will do, you'll have a leader who will turn around, and if Jaden was doing it, he would shout the word down, everybody would bring it down, or he'll shout the word out, and everybody would throw the energy out. And you would hold it there for as long as you felt the energy was needed. If you're working solitary, it's no different. In fact, on many levels, it's easier because you'll find your own natural rhythm with the clapping and the rocking, and you will then decide when the energy has been built up enough to send it into the spell or to send it out in a healing. The other thing that you can do as well that is really effective is chanting. A lot of people get quite nervous about it because they think, oh, I can't sing, and I certainly can't sing. It's not a problem, particularly if you're working alone. If you're in a group, you'll drown each other out anyway. But when the energy is being raised with the chanting, it's exactly the same thing. It's the power of the rhythm and the power of the meter of what you are chanting. It doesn't really matter if it's something you've made up, or if it's one of the usual witchcraft chants that you can find in most books or CDs. What is important is that, again, you feel the rhythm and the meter of the words and the chant that you are singing. It's exactly the same thing as rocking or clapping. And if you put the whole thing together, it becomes a really powerful magical working. What I want us to do with this is chant, rock and clap at the same time. It sounds impossible, but actually it isn't. Again, it's about finding your inner rhythm. It's about finding the universal heartbeat that beats within each and every single one of us, okay? So I'll start, and then you can all come in at your own pace, okay? So we start with the rocking. Earth, my body, water, my blood, air, my breath, and fire, my spirit. Earth, my body, water, my blood, air, my breath, and fire, my spirit. Earth, my body, water, my blood, air, my breath, and fire, my spirit. Earth, my body, your breath, my blood, air, my breath, and fire, my spirit. Earth, my body, water, my blood, air, my breath, and fire, my spirit. Ladies, spin your web of light, spin your breath and fire aside. Earth, air, fire, and water, air, my breath, and fire, my spirit. Earth, my body, water, my blood, my breath and fire, my spirit. Ladies, spin your breath of blood, spin your breath and fire, my spirit. My body, fire and water, my breath and fire, my spirit. Up, and then you send the energy out. But can you see how that works energetically? Yeah. Because you're concentrating on what you're doing and what you're singing. And it doesn't matter what it sounds like. The whole point of it is that you're raising individual energy, therefore you're raising it collectively. Now, when you're working with a group, it's actually far easier to raise that level of energy because you're working with everybody else. And it actually has like a chain reaction to it. You'll be picking up the energy from each person. And you can often feel it in a circle going around. And with the voices, it doesn't matter whether you can sing or not, that's immaterial. What you're doing is finding your centre. If you're working solitary, it's more difficult because you're by yourself. But actually, on some levels, it's that bit easier because you can take your time with it. You can really totally focus. So there's always pros and cons with working either individually as a solitary witch or within a group. Both have their negative sides and their positive sides.